Joseph enjoyed being his father's favorite son, and he didn't seem to care how that made his brothers feel. He never could have imagined that they would sell him to slave traders, but that's exactly what they did. All right, welcome to the program, everybody. I'm Reverend Said, and today we're going to be reading Genesis chapter 37, verses 18 through 36, Joseph sold into slavery. And if you ain't did it already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment on any video on this channel. All right, let's jump into our reading of Genesis chapter 37, verses 18 through 36. When Joseph's brothers saw him coming, they recognized him in the distance. As he approached, they made plans to kill him. "Here he comes, the dreamer," they said. "Come on, let's kill him and throw him into one of these cisterns." And I guess I pronounced that right, cisterns, and I'm taking that is a well of some sort. All right, well, we can tell our father a wild animal had eaten him. Then we'll see what becomes of his dreams. But when Reuben heard of their scheme, he came to Joseph's rescue. "Let's not kill him," he said. "Why should we shed any blood? Let's just throw him into this empty cistern here out in the wilderness. Then he'll die without our laying a hand on him." Reuben was secretly planning to rescue Joseph and return him to their father. So when Joseph arrived, his brothers ripped off the beautiful robe he was wearing. Then they grabbed him and threw him into the cistern. Now the cistern was empty. There was no water in it. Then just as they were sitting down to eat, they looked up and saw a caravan of camels in the distance coming towards them. It was a group of Ishmaelite traders taking a load of gum, balm, and aromatic resin from Gilead down to Egypt. Judah said to his brothers, "What will we gain by killing our brother? We'd have to cover it up. We'd just have to cover up the crime. Instead of hurting him, let's sell him to those Ishmaelite traders. After all, he is our brother, our own flesh and blood." And his brothers agreed. So when the Ishmaelites, who were Midianite traders, came by, Joseph's brothers pulled him out of the cistern and sold them to the traders for 20 pieces of silver. And the traders took him to Egypt. Sometime later, Reuben returned to get Joseph out of the cistern. When he discovered that Joseph was missing, he tore his clothes in grief. Then he went back to his brother. "The boy is gone. What will I do now?" Then the brother killed a young goat and dipped Joseph's robe in its blood. They sent the beautiful robe to their father with this message: "Look at what we found. Doesn't this robe belong to your son?" The father recognized it immediately. "Yes," he said, "it's my son's robe. A wild animal must have eaten him." Joseph has clearly been torn to pieces. Then Jacob tore his clothes and dressed himself in burlap. He mourned deeply for his son for a long time. His family all tried to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. "I will go to my grave mourning for my son," he would say, and then he would weep. Meanwhile, the Midianite traders arrived in Egypt, where they sold Joseph to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. Potiphar was captain of the palace guard. Okay, I get that. So that name is Potiphar. So it's Potiphar. And the other word, Midianite trader. So, all right, well, that brings us to the end. Meanwhile, the Midianite traders arrived in Egypt, where they sold Joseph to the Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. Potiphar was captain of the palace guard. The brothers were worried about bearing the guilt of Joseph's death. Judah suggested an option that was not right, but would leave them innocent of murder. Sometimes we jump to a solution because it's the lesser of two evils, but it's still not the right action. Joseph's brothers thought they would never see their brother again, but God was in control of Joseph's life and had other plans. All right, y'all, that's going to wrap up our reading for today. For this afternoon. Please join me this evening or tomorrow, where we'll jump into Genesis chapter 38, verses 1 through 30, Judah and Tamar. Y'all have a blessed rest of your Saturday.